Recently I found out that my mom's old desktop computer was no longer working, and with Christmas approaching I figured there was no better time to go ahead and just build her a new rig. So today we're going to be building her a super compact Mini-ITX desktop productivity rig. Okay, so this is my mom's old computer right here. It is back from the day when you went to Best Buy and you bought a box and they gave you some sort of crappy computer. This is what we have here. Let's open it up. Oh, if I can. You can see what we're working with here. It's an absolute nightmare. This is pretty old school. It's got an AMD Athlon. That's pretty bad. It's super old, 2011. It just kind of died on her. It has some janky stuff going on. I had to tape the antenna on the back because I guess she or the dog broke it. Something happened here. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. And it's just time for a new computer, standard SATA hard drive, even actually a laptop drive, as you see there. So it's not even a full 720 RPM drive, just a slower 5,000. So we're gonna put SSD, make her a new, brand new system. This will be the new system. So nice and compact. It can actually fit inside here. Actually, that might be what I'll do. I'll put it inside, close it up, and give her the computer and pretend that we just fixed it up or something. But yeah, this will be the new machine. This is the old one. All right, let's get started building. Now, she doesn't do much on the PC, just basic Word documents, email, looking at photos from a camera, etc., stuff like that. So it really doesn't need to be powerful at all. We're gonna go with a budget system, trying to keep it under $500, but I still want it to look cool. I want it to be a nice, sleek, kind of compact system. So let's take a look at the components. For components, we have one of the more low-powered systems that I've ever assembled, starting off with an i3 7100. So that's not even the K version. We won't be overclocking, just a nice, very low-power CPU that can get the job done for everyday tasks. RAM, we're going with 8GB kit of ballistics, Corsair ballistics. Real simple, 2x4, nothing crazy there either. For the Intel, we have the Intel SSD, 256 gig, that's the SATA version. So it's M.2, so it'll slide right in the motherboard, but it's not gonna give you NVMe speeds, but it's really nice, still a rock solid drive. That should be good for my mom and what she's trying to do. For the motherboard, we have a simple Gigabyte H270 and Wi-Fi motherboard, so this is really good. Just Mini-ITX, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, that sort of thing. Totally be fine with this i3 here. And for the case, we have this nice Rilland case, kind of the star of the show. It's a very interesting case. Obviously, it's super compact. It has shades of the old Mac Mini, and that's kind of by design. So we're gonna be building in here. It should be more than enough space, and let's go over it real quick. So this is a very interesting case. It obviously has shades of a Mac Mini, the older Mac Minis, and it's kind of cool. So up front, you have just your simple power button, nothing really exciting to see there. Around the sides, you'll see ventilation on the right side and a little cutout for your power plug, your DC in jack. Around the back, cutout for I/O. Nothing exciting. Obviously, you don't have any expansion or anything there, so it's just gonna be onboard graphics. That's why I didn't go with a Ryzen chip here. Then you have cutouts for antenna if you really need that, more ventilation, and USB 2.0 ports, so that's cool. You do have some access to USB 2.0 or just USB in general if you want in the front there. Let's pop it open. Let's see what's inside. This is all aluminum, by the way. Nice solid aluminum, all metal. So in this side you see some cool stuff. So you have this up front. And you're probably wondering what that is. It's actually a power converter. So this has a built-in 120 watt power supply. So you just plug in your jack into this little cable here that slides on the side like that. Plug in your power brick and you're good to go. Same as a lot of systems I have built in, but this one has it actually built into the case. So that's really cool. You see your power connector up front, as well as your USB header here, and there's your headers for your power switch, and etc. There's a lot of ventilation at the bottom, so if you have an M.2 drive, it shouldn't have any problem being cooled. And on the left side here, you can see you have mounts for two 60mm fans. I believe that's 60mm. So it is a surprisingly capable case for its size. I was kind of shocked to see it. There's also one more surprise here, aside from the feet, which are nice on the bottom. This little strip here, that is an LED strip. It's a blue LED light, so when the case is on the desk and it's on, you have a nice like little indicator that the actual case is on, and it looks kind of cool bouncing off the surface. So it's just a really cool case. I was impressed by it. I've been meaning to do a build in here for a while, and I finally got the chance. So let's get started. So one of the cool things about dealing with Intel CPUs, if I can get this open, what's going on here? It's like a puzzle. Is that they do come with coolers. So in addition to the nice chip here, as we see, you do get this really slim cooler. So now these obviously aren't the best. They're not great coolers at all, but for something like this, a 51 watt TDP chip, this is totally fine. I was gonna go out and get an aftermarket cooler, but this is low enough, it'll fit in there, hopefully, and it should be totally fine. So we're gonna rock out with this. Unless I need to get something else, then I'll go with a bigger cooler. All right, so we have everything unboxed. The RAM here, it's actually kind of matches with the silver and dark gray, I guess, tones. Silver and dark gray on the board. This is actually a really nice looking board, surprisingly. For an affordable board, it's got a nice black PCB. Everything's kind of black and grayed out. It's pretty nice. M.2 slot on the bottom. And connectivity, we've got two USB 3 here, USB-C, another set of two USB Wi-Fi, so that's awesome, and Bluetooth as well with your dual Ethernet, which is pretty nice. I mean, this board's pretty loaded, and you also have HDMI, dual HDMI, so I mean, that's pretty robust for an affordable H270 board. I don't anticipate any problems, obviously, with this system. So just like that, we essentially have a full computer. At least a budget productivity computer. You can get a nice black I/O shield, so that's pretty sweet. It's a really, really nice little package here. Okay, so I have everything pretty much installed. The last step is connecting the 24 pin here. So this is interesting. It has a 20 pin on this side and it goes to a 24 pin here. I haven't seen that kind of connection in a while, but it has also a peripheral kind of cable that hangs off with two SATA cables and an old, I guess, hard drive or floppy disk power cable, which is really interesting. Not something you see a lot these days, but whatever. So you just kind of tuck that away. Cable management in this case is not ideal, but since there's very few moving parts and it's not going to be being moved really ever, I'm going to do quick, just some zip ties or some Velcro on these straps, get them all routed in a nice direction, and call it a day. I like to use these Velcro strips as much as possible, really. They're really good, and you can cut them. They're cheap. I think the whole roll, which is, I've used about half of it now, was about $5, maybe even less, I can't remember. But you can just cut it to as long as you want, and they're reusable, so it just makes jobs a lot easier. This cable, I guess, is just gonna have to be tucked like so. There's not really a way to mount it. I've already put a zip tie here on the 4-pin power. So I guess I'll just tuck this like that and we'll call it a day. Okay, so we have a problem. I have everything installed, Windows installed, everything's going. This is the final look of it. Everything's wired up. It's all fine. It's working. Everything looks good. But when I put the top on, as I showed you earlier, it doesn't quite close all the way. Visually, it looks fine with the screws in. It's pretty tight, but I was getting some weird noises from the fan. And I really think that that's kind of defeats the point of having a desktop, small, compact PC. It's supposed to be super quiet. We have an i3 in here. There's no reason the fan should be making any noise. So I have two options. I can either A, pop in the Noctua NHL9i, the famed Mini-ITX cooler. It'll fit with room to spare in here, and it'll be completely silent, eliminate all the issues. I only have one of these right now, and I was planning on using this in another build, but obviously I can get one pretty quickly. They're only 40 bucks. Or I can put everything into the big brother. So this is the smaller version here. I'll just put them both on their sides. Take that off. And here is the bigger version in black. So I could do that. I was planning on doing something different with this build, something a little more special with this case, I mean. So I'm probably just gonna put the L9i in here and save this for something later. Something I've been planning on doing for a while, but it's always an option. If you're trying to do this yourself, you can just grab the bigger version. But all right, let's disassemble this and upgrade the cooler. Okay, so here we have the final look at the internals. You can see this 24 pin just kind of tucks in like so. All the other cables are tucked up here as well. Give enough airflow in there. Get the USB 2.0 header kind of nestled over the RAM. That shouldn't be too big of an issue here. Nice fan there that now fits. Power cable and the fan cable here. Front, we just have the power supply. You kind of see there'll be ventilation. There's your power plug there for your 19 volt adapter. I'm using a 120 watt brick, so that should be more than enough power. Your rear IO, looking very nice. The Wi-Fi, all that good stuff. And you could put two antennae here if you wanted to. If you had like an internal Wi-Fi adapter or something else, you could use that there as well. So it's kind of cool. You can see our M.2 drive will have some decent ventilation there, so it shouldn't have any issues at all. See, it actually closes now, which is nice. All right, so with the lid attached, you can see really nice, super compact. Loving it. All right, so here we have the old PC, and I wrapped up the new one, so we might as well just go ahead and pop it inside. Let's see. Ah, perfect. That's perfect. Now it's time for the big Christmas reveal. I apologize in advance. It was shot on my iPhone. I didn't feel like bringing all of my camera gear over there, and it's also vertical. Sorry. I think if you pull here, it'll pop off.
I don't want to break it.
Pull it hard. You gotta pull it back. Oh, what's that?
What in the world? Is this a new computer?
Open it up. See what it
Is
is.
this the insides of the computer? Oh my goodness. What is that?
It's a brand new computer.
Oh my goodness. Are you serious? Oh, that is so cool. Oh my God.
So overall, I'm really happy with the build. As you saw, she was super excited about it. It's really nice to be able to use some of these skills that you acquire over the years and actually help somebody else other than yourself for once. So that was cool. So here we have the computer set up in my mom's office. I think it looks pretty good. It can kind of blend in with most environments. It's so small and compact, kind of positioned it behind the monitor. So it looks good. And so far, she's happy with it. Going from a minute plus boot times to 8 seconds is like night and day. Obviously, I'll drop links for everything you saw in the description below. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments or on the website. As always, I'm Jay. This is Tech Everything. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.